here and it has not happened. It is not the lack of faith. I think it is taking steps of faith for you to want to seek to know why has it not happened. Is there something we are not doing right? Because knowledge is power. All right. And so in your bid for you to know why you are not conceiving, it's therefore important that you seek to have a consultation with a fertility specialist who will take the couple through a comprehensive fertility evaluation. At least then you will now know that, okay, this is the reason why, or there is no reason why we are not conceiving. And then, based on the tests that have been done, you can now begin to understand more appropriately what your fertility status are. So the next is to optimize your health. Oftentimes, after you have done those tests, the fertility specialist will tell you that, oh, based on what I have found, this is what and what we are going to be doing. There are some people who will just need some bit of adjustments in their um, in their relationship, in their sexuality, and they'll be okay. There are some who need to go through an assisted reproductive technology, have that assistance to be able to achieve conception. There are many who may need to be medications. Some may need to do surgery. Right? All of these are all options that are available, but it is based on the results of the evaluation that one would know that, okay, this is what one needs to do. But even for patients who will require assistance through IVF, they need to also optimize their health. And this is where I want to put a lot of emphasis, because we have a lot of patients who, they've asked me to do IVF, I'm waiting, I don't have the money. But once I have the money, I can come and register and start. And I often tell them that, see, it doesn't work that way. Before you even come for IVF, before you even get ready, it's important for you for that initial evaluation. It's important for us to know what is your current health status, like I mentioned before. And that is why it's important for any couple who wants to begin this journey to just start, take that first step. And so, therefore, I want to remind everyone who is listening right now that on the comment section, there is a link, there's a form there for you to fill if you want to begin this journey immediately. And I encourage every one of you to begin immediately. There's no time to waste anymore. Just click on that form. You fill out your name, your location, and your phone number, and we will get back to you. You don't have to be in Abuja to begin. You can be anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country, and you can begin this process. Once you fill out that form, I will get across to you. We can have an online consultation to start with, and thereafter we can now continue with the process. Because many of you have delayed too long, waiting for everything to be set. No, you don't have to wait for everything to be set. You can start off by taking that step to consult, and then you can now have the consultation done, and then very importantly, to have an initial evaluation. For patients who are not based in Abuja, for those who are based in Abuja, we encourage them to come and have their fertility workup, have their fertility evaluation done, so that we know exactly what the challenges are. And most of them will require assisted conception, all right, to overcome the infertility that they have. But my emphasis is that although you need assisted conception, you need to optimize your health before you start that program. Required for that. For example, for a couple who wants to go through IVF, that will need to go through the process to retrieve the eggs and then get the sperm to fertilize the egg. The outcome of that process, generating embryos, the quality of those embryos will be a function of the quality of the eggs and sperm. And so if the quality of the sperm is poor and there was no opportunity to optimize the health of the sperm, then that would not give us the best of outcomes. Same also for the lady. At a certain age, you can take supplements that will help to improve your egg quality, egg quantity, more of vegetables, fruits to help to increase your intake of vitamins, minerals. All right, all of these all geared towards ensuring you are in a better state when you begin your treatment. And of course, you need to also manage stress. All right. So all of these things are the things that is important for you to do as you prepare, as you start your journey. And that is why I want to encourage every one of our potential clients. And I know we have quite a number of couples who have reached out to us from all over, desiring to achieve conception and the desire to start off this journey. So I want to say to you, don't wait anymore. Just go to the comment section and click and fill out that form, and we'll get across to you so that we can begin this journey. It's also very important for us to know that we must avoid certain things while we are preparing to begin this journey. I met with a couple this week and they came for the result review. And when I reviewed the results, it was not good at all, particularly with the sperm parameters were very, very poor. And for whatever reason, the couple have had challenges. The man has not come forth to have his test. First of all, for him to come to do his test was a challenge. Now, for him to come so that the result will be reviewed was also another challenge. But eventually, we were able to bring both of them into the clinic, and then they had the review. The sperm parameters were very poor. This man he drinks heavily and he smokes greatly. Of course, as soon as I told him, he felt very guilty, and I told him, see, you need to stop. You need to stop smoking. You need to stop drinking. I know it will be difficult, but it's something you need to do if you want to have a baby, if you want to have a child. Then we must do something about the state of your sperm. All right. So there are many people out there too who are also involved in some of these lifestyle that will probably not know the impact that this lifestyle will be having on the state of their reproductive system. And so it's important for us, and that is why we are having this interaction. That for every couple that is trusting God and are going through this journey, I want to appeal to all the men. Please stop. If you drink, stop taking alcohol for now. If you smoke, stop smoking. If you take drugs, marijuana, cocaine, please you stop. If you are a heavy consumer of nicotine, of caffeine, take a lot of coffee, now you need to stop, because all of these things, they all have detrimental effect on the sperm quality. All right. So you need to take it, you need to stop, and then you need to now begin to enhance the quality of your sperm by ensuring that you go on supplements, you enhance your diet, you go on exercise, you avoid all this harmful lifestyle, and then over a period of time, your sperm parameters would have improved. Now, these are all the things that we need to do before you go on to start off your program. And that is why it's very important that the partner's fertility status must be considered, must be evaluated, and we must make sure that both partners, the male and the female, that their health parameters are optimized for better outcome when they go through an IVF process. For example, a woman that has what we call polycystic ovarian disease, polycystic ovarian syndrome, all right, it's one of is the commonest cause of anovulation, of a woman not ovulating. The situation where you have a woman has a lot of eggs but is not releasing them because there are too many, and because of that, the woman may not be seeing her period regularly. Quite a number of patients do have that situation, that condition. And women who have PCOS, the quality of their eggs are not as good as those without PCOS. Now we have said that age generally affects egg quality, and the cutoff point is 35 years. So women who are less than 35, they are at an advantage because they are on the side of age, and so better outcome will be achieved. Once you get to 35 and above, the fertility begins to drop, and that is another reason why couples should not delay any further. Those days, we used to say, oh, but not we used to try so many other things, and then we say, okay, finally, if nothing is working, let them go and try IVF. These days, I don't think that is the right approach. The right approach must be that all the treatment options are placed on the table. And I have come to analyze it based on the causes of infertility, and I found out that more than 60 up to 60% of couples who are infertile, the treatment they need is actually assisted conception. And so that is why it is detrimental for you to delay in seeking that which is effective in ensuring that you have your heart desire. I understand that finance is one of the major factors that prevents couples from taking on this treatment option. But some do have the resources, but just the lack of knowledge or the lack of adequate knowledge is the reason why they feel, oh no, I don't think IVF is for me. It should be the very last option. No. By the time you are deciding to do IVF, you may discover that you are now fighting against so many odds. All right. So the based on the treatment profile, and that is why, like I said before, going through an evaluation is very important. So for a woman that has PCOS and you've done your test and you've discovered that, oh, your LH levels is quite high compared to your FSA, which are typically the hormonal profile you will see in patients with PCOS, there are certain things that needs to be done. You need to improve on the quality of those eggs before, particularly if you're less than 35. If you are above 35, yes, it's important for you to be on those supplements to help to improve the quality of the eggs, to help to improve the hormonal situation before you go on to start off your program. All right, so it's very, very, very important that couples should take note of this. And sometimes you may need to be on this supplement for up to 6 months. So you can see that you are planning to go through treatment, and you wait until when you finally ready and you think you want to come and start, and we're telling you that, oh, sorry, you need to spend another 6 months to prepare yourself optimally before you can start. So you can see that time had been wasted. And that is why it is very, very important for couples who are listening to me right now, who have not yet registered and who have not begun that initial evaluation, to please do that. You will be saving yourself a lot of time when you do that. And so, like I said before, for those of you who are just joining us, you go on to the comment section and click and fill out the form, just your name, your location, and then your phone number, and the team from us will get across to you, and we will provide you with all the necessary support that is needed to begin your journey. All right. Okay. So it's also very important. Part of the preparation that is needed for couples who are starting this journey is the financial and psychological preparation. All right. Unfortunately, IVF is an expensive process. It's getting more expensive these days because of the economy in the nation, devaluation of the naira. Everything that we do as regards the IVF are all based on the dollar. So virtually everything is imported, and so it's quite expensive now. Having to go through it has always been expensive, still expensive, more expensive now to go through a fertility journey. But the good news is that particularly for those of you who are just joining us for the first time on this platform, is that the Abebe Fertility Center, there's also a foundation that we run that started many years ago that has helped couples to be able to afford IVF, the cost of IVF. And I said I should mention it during this presentation for those of you who may not be aware that there is a foundation that is that I set up that has provided significant discounts in our IVF programs, and hundreds of couples have benefited from the foundation. In fact, we started a program in 2021 called the Be Fruitful Project. And what that program was, um, the objective of that program, or the goal of that program, or the vision rather of that program, was to reach out to I think 5,000 couples within a 5-year period with significantly discounted IVF programs. That was 2021, and by next year, that program will come to an end, and hundreds of couples have been helped. When we started that program, 2 cycles of IVF was going for 500,000. That was 2021, and that included your free registration, part of your investigations, included your medications. The only additional cost you needed to pay was for those who were patients who were needing a third party, either an egg donor or a sperm donor. And those were the ones who were required to pay an additional 200 or so. When that program came out, a lot of people thought it was a scam because they couldn't imagine how one could be asked to pay that money and then you will go through not 1 cycle, I mean 2 cycles of IVF. But it was something that we were committed to do because we know what the pain is, what the burden is of infertility. We've been there before. And so it was our way of giving back and to say, God, we want as many people to enjoy to experience the joy that we now have. And to the glory of God, many hundreds of couples have benefited from it. So the program is still on, but now what the 2 cycle that was 500 is now 1.2 million. Why? Well, it's because of the economic realities of the time, the very high inflations. But even at that, you will agree with me if you know the actual cost of IVF in the country, that 2 cycles for 1.2, and then additional cost for medications, for third party, whatever it is, at the end of the day, you are still having a significant discount, given that additional cost is based on whatever program you are doing. But at the end of the day, you are still having a significant discount given to you, and that has made more people to be able to afford our IVF program. So if you are interested and you want to be part of that foundation, I want to encourage you to please hurry up, because we are in our 5th year. Yes, the program started. We celebrated our 4th year anniversary in February this year, And so by February next year, the program will come to an end. So I want to appeal to as many persons as possible, couples trusting God, to please try and take part in that program before it comes to an end. Once you click and you register, mention this aspect that, oh, the MD mentioned something about the Be Fruitful project, BFP, Be Fruitful project, powered by the foundation, and our team will provide you more details on concerning the program and how you can be part of it. So it's very important, and so what we have done is to try and provide some support in that regard. And we also try to ensure that for patients who go through our programs, we try to provide that psychological support, counseling, and psychotherapy, just to make sure that we take care of their mental health. All right. Okay, so it's also very important for couples who are preparing to go on this journey to get as much education as possible about the treatment options. When we were going through this program, it got to a point where when we went for a program, and the way my wife was speaking, many thought she was a doctor, because by virtue of reading and being part of a program for 6 years, she had known everything about the IVF process. And many patients who have gone through this journey will also testify that that has been their experience. All right. And I'm one person who believes that the more knowledgeable a client or a patient is about what she's going through, the better for me, because it therefore means that the patient will be part of the process, will be part of the treatment, able to ask very relevant questions, and then be able to comply to instructions, having understood them concerning the treatment that she is having. And so we encourage couples to try and research and have a better understanding as to what the program is. And on this platform, we're going to be, discussing a lot about all the various aspects of IVF, of infertility. I think we've had a discussion on the process of IVF as it obtains in our center some time ago. All right, so you can visit our website and check for all the previous sessions that we've had. But it's very, very important, and I would encourage all our potential clients to please get as much information, call and ask questions, and then so that you will be well equipped while you prepare for this journey. The Georgia Abebe Fertility Center provides a comprehensive fertility care. All the various options are available from IUI, from ovulation induction to IVF, to surrogacy, third parties. We provide cryopreservation services to our patients. We do PGD programs, sex selection, genotype selections, everything. It's a comprehensive service that we offer. And so, for details as to our programs and any questions you may have, like I said before, quickly go on the comment section and sign up, fill out your name, your location, and phone number, and we will definitely get back to you. All right. It's also very important for you to know that we also try to create a very supportive environment. All right, with our team working with you, both from the fertility center and from the foundation. We will provide you with all the necessary support that you need to be able to go through this journey successfully. I know that this journey is not an easy one. I've been there before, like I said, and that is why any couple that is going through this journey will definitely require all the necessary support that is needed, all right, to ensure that you have a very great experience. And then just to mention that whilst you are going through this journey, there are some alternative therapy that may be considered, such as acupuncture, herbal supplements, and then get involved in yoga, meditation to manage stress. All of these are all based on different patient type and patient medical profile. All right. So it's also very important as part of your preparation to also psychologically prepare for the long haul. Like I said before, some patients will go through IVF and in one cycle, they've achieved their heart desire. There are many who will need more than one cycle of IVF to be able to achieve their heart desire. That is the way God made it. What is your success rate? I'm sure many people may want to ask. Well, the last average success rate was about 56%. All right, and the success of IVF for a couple depends on the patient's profile. But I would say that we have, based on our track record, we have tried to ensure that we maintain a very good outcome, putting all the science and technology at our disposal to bear with very high ethical standard to ensure that a lot of our patients are able to achieve their heart desire within a short period of time from when they come to when they deliver. But I must say that there are a number of couples who, because of the nature of the program, they may need to go through more than one cycle to achieve conception. I agree that everybody wants to get pregnant in their first attempt. That is even our own prayer. Even for patients who go through multiple cycle program, who pay for multiple cycle programs in our setup, our desire for them is that in their first cycle they get pregnant. And so we that is what we work towards. But we must also face the reality, and that is that some couples will not achieve conception in the first cycle. And that is why, by the way, we also have multiple cycle programs that we offer. We have one cycle, two cycle, and three cycle programs that we offer. All of those details you can get from our team. Like I said before, for those of you just joining, just put down your name, click on the message on the comment section. There is a form there you fill your name, your location, and then your phone number. It doesn't matter where you are listening to me from, whichever part of the country or part of the world probably you are listening to me from. We can have an initial online consultation, and then we will now from there, begin the process. There are a lot of things that can be done before we eventually get to the point where the program will be started. All right. So you need to prepare. So I often say that it's better for a couple to prepare for a marathon, and if it's 100 meters dash, they end up having their heart desire fulfilled. To God be the glory. But one thing that is important is that no couple should ever think of giving up, in spite of the hurdles, in spite of the challenges that they may face. No couple should ever consider giving up, because I have come to realize that, based on the wisdom of God that has been made available by God, that virtually every couple, if they are open to all the options that are available to achieve conception, that virtually all couples can achieve their heart's desire. And that is why when you're coming, come with an open heart. Be ready to embrace all the possible options that will be discussed. And based on your medical records, based on your profile, we will discuss the various options, and we would advise you on the options that will best achieve the desired result. So, and like I said before, there are various options that are available, and we provide all the various options. We provide comprehensive fertility care to our patients. All right. And I have no doubt in my heart that if you come with faith in your heart and you ask God for grace to be patient, that through faith and patience, Bible says to obtain the promise that very shortly you will also be among those who will be rejoicing, will be congratulating because you will have had your bundles of joy delivered to you. So as I conclude, I want to say that the fertility journey involves both physical and emotional preparation. It's important for us to ensure that your health is optimized, that you get all the necessary support that is needed, and that you educate yourself about the treatment program that you'll be going through, as this will help a lot in facilitating the outcome. And that very importantly, that every client, everyone going through this process should be patient and should be resilient as you navigate the pathway to parenthood. If God can do it for me after waiting for 13, almost 13 years, through 6 years of treatment, going through 9 IVF cycle, today the storyline is different. Not only have I experienced it, I've seen it in my professional career. I've seen it since we started this work. God has come through for many, many, many couples. I remember when I was taking the delivery of, no, not the delivery, because this patient delivered in Kaduna. When I was doing the cervical sacrilege for her, she said, Doctor, you know, as you're doing this now, it just reminds me of how many years we've waited for this time to come. And she told me that that was the 31st year, 31 years in waiting. 31 years. After 31 years, the Lord blessed them with a set of triplets. I've seen God do amazing things. And so that is why I know that if you will not give up and if you will have faith and you start off this journey by faith in God, that at the end of the day, you will be among those who will be sharing their testimony. And that is my prayer for every one of our wonderful clients who have listened to me this afternoon and who, by the leading of God, you are set to begin this journey. We are prepared to provide you with all the necessary support and we will serve you under God. And by the grace of God, you will achieve your heart's desire. So, thank you very much for listening. We'll go for a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll be taking um, your questions and comments. But before I go, please don't forget, for those of you who joined us later, please, if you have not filled the form, because that form helps us to get your contact so that we can contact you. I want you to begin this journey immediately. Take this step of faith because this year is still possible for you to achieve your heart desire. It doesn't matter if you've done IVF before, even if you have done it in our center, that means we have your record.